You won't believe this. I flat out told her. I'm ignoring your ridiculous HOA rules. Right there in my driveway. Cool as ice. The HOA queen bee, all puffed up in her power vest, gawked like I'd slapped her with a wet fish, then screeched she'd call the cops, over a freaking ramp for my old man. And when those lights flashed, she had no clue she'd just dialed up her own undoing, because the violator she was ratting out? Yeah, that was me, her boss at the state housing office. It started innocently enough, or so I thought when I moved into Whispering Pines Estates 6 weeks back. Picture this, rows of cookie-cutter homes, each one a shade of bland beige or eggshell white, lawns mowed to military precision, and those American flags dangling at exactly 45 degrees like they'd been measured with a protractor. The air smelled of fresh-cut grass mixed with the faint whiff of nosy neighbor judgment. I'd picked this spot after Dad's nasty fall down the stairs at his old place. Broken hip, wheelchair-bound now, the works. He needed ground-level living, no steps, and I needed somewhere quiet near the city for my commute. Whispering Pines screamed, serene suburbia, in the ads. Safe, structured, community-focused. What they forgot to mention, the iron-fisted HOA that turned community into a synonym for conformity cult. Dad settled in quick, parking his wheelchair by the bay window to watch the world like it was his personal soap opera. Nice and quiet here, he'd say, sipping his black coffee. Me, I kept my head down at first. My job as regional director for the state's Housing Compliance Division meant I dealt with rule breakers all day, overzealous landlords, shady developers, you name it. Last thing I wanted was drama at home. But then the notes started slipping under the door. Friendly reminder. Trash receptacles must be concealed by 8 p.m. Mailbox hue non-compliant with Pallet Guidelines 7.2. And my favorite, a welcome packet that read like a passive-aggressive manifesto on how to live your life without offending the aesthetic gods. That crisp Saturday morning, I was out front, tools in hand, piecing together a basic wooden ramp for Dad's porch. Nothing fancy, just sturdy planks, non-slip surface, handrails for safety. The sun was beating down, birds chirping in sync like they were on the HOA payroll. Coffee mug steaming on the rail, drill buzzing away. For once, Dad could will himself out to feel the breeze without me hauling him like luggage. Neighbors' curtains twitched, subtle, but you could feel the eyes. I muttered to myself, welcome to paradise, where even the squirrels probably file permits. Then came the slam of a car door, sharp as a judge's gavel. I didn't look up right away. Figured it was another minivan mom on her yoga run. But the footsteps, click-clack, authoritative, like high heels on a mission. Excuse me, sir. The voice dripped with fake honey. That structure isn't approved. I straightened, wiping sweat from my brow. And there she was, Karen Caldwell, HOA President Extraordinaire. Mid-50s, bleach blonde bob haircut sharper than her tongue. Navy vest with Whispering Pines HOA, stitched in gold thread. Clipboard clutched like a holy relic. She was already jotting notes, lips pursed in that universal, I'm in charge smirk. I kept it polite. Morning. There's a ramp for my dad, he's in a wheelchair. Medical necessity. She didn't even glance up, just snapped a photo with her phone. Click. All exterior modifications require Architectural Review Board approval. Per Covenant 12.4. Her tone was robotic, like she'd memorized the rulebook in her sleep. I chuckled lightly. Come on. It's not a hot tub or a neon sign. It's accessibility. She finally met my eyes, narrowing them. Accessibility doesn't trump aesthetics, sir. This community prides itself on uniformity. Imagine if everyone just built whatever. The way she said whatever made it sound like I was erecting a strip club. I bit back a retort. Rumors had already started swirling about me. The new guy, who didn't attend the welcome barbecue, whispered to be antisocial or worse. Karen had a knack for that, I'd heard, twisting facts into neighborhood gossip to keep her throne secure. But I played nice. Fine, I'll look into the form, she smiled. All teeth, no warmth. Good choice. Violation notices start at $100 a day. As she sauntered off, I thought, lady, you have no idea who you're preaching rules to. She returned the next day. Same vest, same smug aura, but upgraded to a full camera setup like she was CSI Suburbia. Click, click, click from every angle, the ramp's joints, the wood grain, even peeking under like hunting for contraband. I paused my hammering. Back so soon? Miss me? Half joke, half probe. She ignored it, tapping her tablet. Still no submission form received. This is now an active violation. Her voice had that edge, like she relished the power trip. But it's for a disabled vet. My dad served in Nam. I threw that in, testing her compassion facade. She waved it off. Rules apply equally. If we bend for one, chaos ensues. Page 22. Empathy clause? Non-existent. Behind her, Mr. Jenkins from next door peeked over his hedge, pretending to trim it. The neighborhood grapevine was buzzing already. Texts flying about the ramp rebel defying Queen Karen. I nodded slowly. Got it. Equality over empathy. Progressive. Sarcasm dripped. But she missed it. Too busy citing codes like a preacher quoting scripture. By afternoon, a neon yellow notice was slapped on my door. Violation 001. Unauthorized alteration. Cease and desist. Fee, $150. Dad wheeled over, peering at it. Trouble brewing? He chuckled weakly. Nah, just bureaucracy at its finest. But inside, I seethed not at the fine, but the absurdity. That night, as streetlights hummed and sprinklers clicked on cue, I filed the notice away. Signatures tell stories, and Karen's loopy K. Caldwell screamed overconfidence. Little did she know, in my day job, I ate overconfident rulemongers for breakfast. The letters piled up like unwanted junk mail, each one more pompous than the last. Tuesday, continued non-compliance. Daily accrual, $75. Friday 3-in-1 go, escalating to intent to lien with fees tacked on like holiday decorations. Dad stacked them neatly on the kitchen counter, eyeing them warily. Maybe pay up, son. Don't rock the boat. His voice trembled a bit. Old school. Avoid conflict. I patted his shoulder. They're not about the ramp, Dad. It's about proving submission. By week 2, the envelopes thickened. Escalation notice. Potential foreclosure referral. Neighbors started side-eyeing me at the mailbox. Whispers of troublemaker floating like pollen. Karen's white SUV cruised by daily now, slowing to a crawl, her gaze piercing like a hawk spotting prey. No wave, just that knowing nod. The cookie lady down the block stopped her deliveries. Even the dog walkers rerouted. Whispering Pine's morality, conformity or bust. Dad tried decoding one letter over dinner. Pursuant to CC and RS, persistent defiance may invoke asset seizure. He paled. They can take the house? I took it from him gently. Bluff, Dad. But yeah, I handle this crap daily at work. Closest I'd come to spilling my secret. From then on, I turned detective. Gloves on, each letter photographed, scanned, time-stamped. Spreadsheet columns, date, amount, code cited, signature scan. Precision over passion, that's how you topple tyrants. Karen's next missive arrived in a fancy envelope. Invoice for $950 in accumulated penalties under a bogus Section 9B. I smirked. 9B didn't exist in any HOA code I drafted. Neighbors' blinds twitched as I pocketed it calmly. No outburst, just a mental note. Her sloppiness was showing. By mid-month, certified mail knocked, thicker packet, red stamped, final warning. Carrier averted eyes, like delivering bad news. Inside, fine summary, legal threats, 48-hour deadline. But buried at the bottom, noncompliance will be escalated to state housing oversight. I burst out laughing, startling Dad. Karen was threatening to report me. To me. Her Trotter obsession had just handed me the ammo. Paper trails don't lie. They lead straight to the fool who wrote them. The ramp wasn't just lumber. It was Dad's lifeline. For months prior, he'd tumbled down his rickety old stairs chasing the cat. Hip shattered. Mobility gone. Doc said, adapt or suffer. He'd built homes his whole life. Calloused hands fixing neighbors' roofs for free. Now, trapped indoors unless I carried him. Whispering Pines was supposed to be his fresh start, but Karen's crusade turned it sour. That evening, I caught him staring at the ramp through cracked blinds, looking deflated. Didn't mean to stir the pot, he muttered. Tear it down if it'll quiet her. She's not quieting anyone, I replied. She's bullying because she can. Enter Lisa, my wife, towel in hand from dishes. She'd been saintly, but cracks showed. Just submit the damn form, Alex. Play their game. Fatigue laced her words. I leaned on the counter. You know my job, enforcing real laws. This, petty power play. Silence hung heavy. Dad piped up. She's threatened by you. Boy. You don't cower. I nodded. Time she learns why. Lisa sighed. Be smart. Not stubborn. Outside, the ramp stood defiant under moonlight. I walked it, wood creaking softly. Dignity didn't need permits. Neither would my comeback. Insomnia hit hard after that final notice. 3 a.m. Laptop glowing in the dim kitchen. Dad snored down the hall as I dove in. Karen Caldwell, HOA Prez and self-styled enforcer. Her site popped up, Caldwell Association. Integrity in community management. Cute. State database next, license check. Cross-ref complaints. Bingo 3 unresolved. 189. Excessive fees on non-violations. 214. Retaliatory harassment. I whispered. Pattern emerging. Karen. Contacted complainants discreetly. First, the Millers, elderly duo from nearby Oak Ridge. Mrs. Miller's voice quavered. Fined $250 for overgrown hedges. They were fake plants. I probed. And after, she doubled it when we questioned. Said it was processing. Laughter bubbled, dark, ironic. Next, the Garcias. Mailbox shade off by a tint. She sent a color swatch that matched ours exactly. Called it non-conformity premium. Every tale, vulnerable folks. Vague rules. Karen's scrawl at the bottom. Spreadsheet magic. Dates aligned with her firm's quarter ends. Fines spiking for revenue boosts. To nail it, I pinged my ex-colleague, Mia at Oversight. Hypothetical. Manager faking fees? She laughed. Like Caldwell? She's flagged. Audit pending if pushed. I gave initials. KC. Whistle. Yeah. Her. Complaints stacking. Need a formal trigger. Not yet. But Karen's ego was her Achilles. Ludicrous rules exposing her farce. Gossip ramped up. Neighborhood app buzzing with ramp guys a menace. Disrupting harmony. Karen's handiwork. No doubt. I stayed silent. Observing. Her SUV patrols intensified. Once stopping to glare. Still defiant? She called. Just building accessibility. I shot back mildly. She huffed. You'll learn respect for order. Irony thick as her vest. Then the cops. She dialed them mid-argument in my driveway. He's violating code. Refusing compliance. Sirens wailed. Officer approached. Sir. HOA jurisdiction here. I smiled. Is it? Ask who enforces state HOA laws. Karen pointed triumphantly. Arrest him. Officer eyed her. Ma'am. Calm down. As he ran my ID. Her face paled when dispatch murmured my title. But the real bomb? Her threat to report to Oversight. Straight to my desk. Audit launched quietly. Complaints flooded in once I nudged anonymously. Karen's order unraveled. Duplicate bills. Altered codes. All for padding pockets. Her facade cracked. Desperate emails to board. Must maintain authority or chaos. Laughable. Confrontation day. She stormed my office unannounced. Folder bulging. You're harassing me. Voice shrill. I leaned back. MS. Caldwell? Sit. Recognition dawned slow. Horror fast. You. You're. Director Hayes. State Housing Oversight. The one you threatened to report. Her clipboard clattered. This is a setup. No. Your overreach. I flipped files. 21 infractions. $52,000 in bogus fees. Control freak much? She blustered. Communities need structure. Without me. Anarchy. I echoed. Without empathy. It's tyranny. Backstory spilled. Divorce. Lost custody. HOA her empire. Sad. But no excuse. Authorities alone. Karen. You defaulted. Suspension immediate. Review pending. The hearing was a spectacle minus popcorn. Chamber sterile. Screens flashing her sins. Fines galore. Emails bragging easy money from sheep. Karen. In rumpled suit. Stammered. Standard practice. Panel. No. Coercion. I testified calmly. Systematic abuse erodes trust. She cracked. I just wanted control after everything fell apart. Panel. Control isn't respect. Verdict. 18-month suspension. Ethics retraining. Restitution $60,000. Outside. Lisa and Dad waited. Done? Yeah. Dad. She learned. Hard way. Months later. Whispering Pines breathed freer. New board. Transparent rules. Ramp stayed. Now with lights. I got promoted for impartial justice. Karen, teaching ethics classes. Reformed-ish. Invited me to speak. On not repeating mistakes. I went. She handed curriculum. Ego was the villain. Silence healed. Back home. Barbecue vibes. Neighbors laughed freely. No fines feared. Dad wheeled down ramp. Worth the fuss. That night. Video upload. Ramp in sunset glow. Voiceover. Rules serve people, not egos. Justice whispers till it roars. Would you bend to absurd rules for peace? Or fight back knowing the system's rigged, right or reckless?